Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the last lesson of this week. Today, we're not going to depend on any of our books, the Global English nor the Cambridge Checkpoint book. We will have to study something different. And now I want you to prepare yourselves and bring a notebook so that you can write something from this lecture. Let's start. So, for our objectives today, first, we're going to study some spelling words, as usual, every Thursday. And the second and last point for today is going to be how to write a short essay. Before we learn how to write a short essay, we're going to remind ourselves how to write a good paragraph. Now, with the spelling words for this week, first we have the word epicenter. And you might notice that if you search it in other dictionaries, the center would be written in the American way. However, this is the right British way. So, epicenter is the point from which the waves of an earthquake originates. So, the center of the earthquake. Then you have another word. This word is malnourished, is suffering from a lack of proper nutrition. After that, you have another word which is porridge, which is a dish consisting of oatmeal or another meal, cereal boiled in water or milk. After that, you have coconut. A coconut is the thing that we eat. We all know the large oval with the brown seeds. We all eat it. After that, we have enthusiastic. Enthusiastic is having or showing intense, eager, or enjoyment, to be excited. Then we have appropriate. Appropriate means suitable. Then we have two words which are antonyms. You have explicit and implicit. Explicit is something obvious, something clear, while implicit is something implied, is not that clear. Then you have the word naive. Naive is somebody who doesn't have experience. That's naive. Then you have dwell, which means live. The word monosyllabic. Mono always means one, so monosyllabic means one syllable. It's usually used with words that have one syllable, like cat. Then you have the word deprivation. Deprivation means taking away. After that, you have the word prospective, uh, usually for a person expected or expecting to be something particular in future. The last word, I just put it because people usually pronounce it as kindergarten, so it's definitely kindergarten with T. Now we would remind ourselves what are the parts of paragraphs. Since our aim is to start writing essays, then we have to remind ourselves of paragraphs first. The first thing is the length of paragraph. Some people say it should be between 3 sentences to 5, but usually it extends to 8 sentences. So if you write a paragraph between 3 to 8 sentences, then you are on the good side. Now, what are the parts of any paragraph? First, we have topic sentence. This is the most important thing. Topic sentence is the sentence that tells the reader the main idea or what the paragraph will be about. Now we have the supporting sentences, and you will see that here we have 3 supporting sentences. So, supporting sentences are these sentences that give specific details relating to the main idea. We will explain that even more later. And finally, we have the concluding sentence. What's a concluding sentence? This sentence refers to the topic sentence and sums up the main idea of the paragraph. Now, we will explain these parts in more details now. Before we explain the parts, let me remind you of any paragraph's formatting. The important things that people sometimes forget. You have the most important, the title, which should be in the middle of the paragraph. You have something that is frequently forgot by people, which is the indent. You see the indent space. If you're typing, it can be like 5 spaces, while if you're just writing on the paper, it could be something like you could know something, a space you leave. Then you have something also which is very important is the margins, that you shouldn't write from the beginning until the end. You should leave some space towards the sides of your paper. Also, you have one important thing, which is the double space between lines. You shouldn't put the lines very close to each other. So these were the paragraphs formatting. Now we're going to move on to explain the parts. Let's first explain the most important thing in any paragraph, which is the topic sentence. What is the topic sentence? It is usually, not always, the first sentence in a paragraph, but in most of the times, in 95% of the times, you will find it as the first sentence. What does it contain? That's the most important. It tells the main idea of the paragraph. So, whatever you're going to talk about should be in the first line, in the first sentence, the topic sentence. After you finish writing your topic sentence, the first sentence, you have to write supporting sentences, which are going to explain the topic sentence. So every paragraph has sentences that relate and explain the main idea in the topic sentence. These sentences are called supporting sentences. You can support your topic sentence by adding details, such as what? The things that you put, or when you're writing your supporting sentences, you would have facts, examples, if you want to give an example to explain, if you want to give a definition of something, or to describe something in some cases, or simply to explain. All these things could be used in supporting sentences. Moving to the last part, which is concluding sentence. This sentence is all the time the last sentence in your paragraph. So, what does it contain? Sometimes it restates the main idea of the paragraph. What does that mean? You write the same topic sentence in a different way. You just paraphrase the topic sentence. That's the meaning of restates. The other thing could be, it can also be a sentence that leaves the reader with a thought or feeling about the topic. So the writer here would give, for example, his opinion in the concluding sentence. But in most of the times, you will find that the concluding sentence restates the topic sentence. It says it in a different way. We will have an example about that. Here is a good example about a topic sentence and a concluding sentence. Notice here that this is not a full paragraph. We just took the topic sentence and then the concluding sentence just to show how it restates it. So, the topic sentence of this paragraph was, Cats may be small, but they're mighty predators. Okay, a good topic sentence. In the supporting sentences, if you can imagine, you will talk about why cats are predators and you will give examples. Okay, so the concluding sentence is based on these statistics, or you can say in conclusion or finally, all these words could be used, transition words. Cats are predators who hunt frequently and decrease the area bird population. See? You just throw the same idea of the topic sentence with some more details, things that you took from the other details in your supporting sentences. But if you look at the general meaning, it's the same. They are good predators. Here we will have an example about a really good paragraph. It contains some mistakes if you notice that it doesn't contain a title or maybe margins at the sides, but that's only because it's taken from a bigger, let's say, page. So, if we want to start with the topic sentence, the topic sentence here is good health requires a balanced diet, plenty of exercise, and a positive attitude. You see, in your topic sentence, you talked about three things that lead to uh, good health. Like what? Balanced diet, plenty of exercise, and positive attitude. What do you think will happen in the supporting sentence? We will explain everything about these three things only. If you explain anything else not mentioned in the topic sentence, then it will be irrelevant. So first, to keep the body strong, it's important to have balanced, nutritious diet. See, we explained the first point, which is the diet. For example, we will give examples. It's important to eat many kinds of fruit and vegetables. We finished everything about the first point, which was about diet. Now let's see what will we say about exercise. Getting a lot of exercise is very important for keeping a strong body and burning off fat. For instance, again we're giving explanation, an example. Swimming is an excellent way to exercise and have fun at the same time. Okay, we finished everything about exercises. Now let's talk about positive attitude. How will we explain it? Third, having a positive attitude is the best way to keep a healthy mind and body. For example, an optimist is usually healthier than a pessimist. See, people who see the good side are better or they feel better than the ones that see negative sides. Now, for the last part, which is the conclusion or the concluding sentence, we will say in conclusion or finally or as a result. All these words, as we said, you can use them. Eating the right foods, being physically active, and thinking positive thoughts are the best ways to stay healthy. If you notice this concluding sentence, it is the same as the topic sentence. It restates it, but with different words. That is the key. You paraphrase the topic sentence to make it the same meaning but different words. Here we have another example about the parts of any paragraph. So first you have the topic sentence. Also you can notice that there is no title. Of course, you can put the title. The most important problem in our city is its poor public transportation system. So what is the main idea of this paragraph? As we said, it's always in the topic sentence. The main idea is how poor the public transportation system is in this city. So after finishing this topic sentence, which is the most important, you will go to explain it. And what do we call it? Supporting sentences. All these sentences. So like what? Thousands of residents rely on cities, buses, and taxis to travel throughout this large city, while the metro transportation system's daily schedules are totally unreliable. See? So that explains why this transportation system is very poor. Let's give example. A bus or a taxi that should arrive at 7:45 may not arrive until 8 or later. Moreover, given more examples or more explanation, it's not unusual for a bus driver to pass up groups of people waiting for the bus because he wants to make up for lost time. Unfortunately, people often end up going to work late or missing important appointments. See, you explained the topic sentence of why is this transportation system unreliable and poor by all these sentences of given examples and other things. Finally, concluding sentence, in order for people to get to their destinations on time, people must allow for waiting time at the bus and taxi stop. See? So it's again another way to say that the transportation system is poor. You can paraphrase this topic sentence yourself to make a better concluding sentence. After finishing everything about how to write a paragraph, now we will move on to the larger aim, which is how to write an essay. Here, we will not explain everything about essays, the details of how to write it, because this will be explained in the coming weeks. But for today, we will just know the basic things about essays. So first, you have to know that essays consist of three parts: introduction, body, and conclusion. What's introduction? Introduction contains the main idea, which here we call thesis. By the way, you notice that the paragraph was three parts. Essays are three parts too. But this time, in your essay, you will have the parts separated, not connected like the paragraph. Okay? So, for the introduction, it contains the main idea, which is the thesis. For body, it may be one paragraph, two paragraphs, three paragraphs, or sometimes five. So it depends. But for us, because we're learning right now, we will have it of one paragraph. So our essay will be three paragraphs: introduction, body, and conclusion. Now, in conclusion, you also restate the thesis, you restate the main idea, just like you do it in your paragraph. Or sometimes you just summarize briefly what you said in your essay. This is a simple example for a good essay. It's entitled My Two Idols. You notice that every paragraph consists of an indent. Okay, you start first with the first paragraph, which is the introduction. It contains the main idea. What's the main idea? That he has two relatives, they are his idols. Okay, so how many body paragraphs here? We have two. And finally, when he says John and Ted are different in age, but they have one thing in common: they are diligent and they never give in to difficulties. They become my idols because of their assiduous attitude. This is the conclusion. It is what it restates and summarizes whatever was written in this essay. Thank you so much for listening and watching. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. See you next time.